And as much as we're talking about wrestling, he impressed me stand up. Like,
oh yeah, he cracked Conor with that big right hand.
He stood up enough to just say, I'm going to sit here and take a few, and I'm going to give a few. But then he went to probably what his game plan was, I would assume.
Well, you have to stand for a little while because if he just shoots in, he'll get caught with a knee or caught with a punch rushing in. But he landed the bigger shot. There was one big giant shot that was landed in that fight, and it was by hand.
Yeah.
And Conor hit him with some pretty good front kicks to the body and some other things, but didn't really get much off on the feet.
Not like classic left jabs that just break people down.
Yeah. And on the ground, he just got mauled. And it's one of those things where you see that guy, in the beginning, guys fight him off a little bit, and then as the fight wears on, he just gets more and more dominant. They get more and more exhausted. Really, this fight just makes Al Iaquinta look like a god. I mean, that's the most impressive thing about it. Al Iaquinta went 5 rounds with him, stood toe-to-toe with him, and, gave him at least a struggle. At least he gave him a bit of adversity.
Yep.
Managed to survive on the ground much better than Conor did. Managed to get back up to his feet. Managed to stuff a bunch of takedowns. And on the feet was a real threat. Obviously Khabib didn't prepare for Al Iaquinta. He prepared for Conor. But Al Iaquinta didn't even prepare for 5 rounds. He only prepared for 3. So there was so much to that fight.
What do you think will happen with Conor now?
I'm worried what happens with Khabib.
Yeah.
I hope they sit everybody down and they go, look, everybody's all right. Come on.
Yep.
So the guy who rushed in the cage and punched Conor in the face, that guy should be in the most trouble. Because, the guy just fought 4 rounds, got the fuck beaten out of him, got choked. I heard a lot of people, there's a lot of silly non-experts out there saying that wasn't a choke or that wasn't a neck crank. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That is absolutely a neck crank. When someone gets their arm around your head like that, and then what they do is they grab it like this, and they pinch the elbow. They put the forearm on his back like this. So as the arm is across the neck, and then they grip it like this, and the forearm goes into the back. And as you're pulling like this, you're pushing with your forearm and yanking with your hand. It is a terrible neck crank. They call it, Dean Lister actually has a video on it. He calls it the fulcrum choke. And it's a nasty choke. So, I thought he was going under the neck. Here, you can see it here. Dean Lister, who's a world champion, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. And that's my friend Hans Molenkamp behind him. Now, watch how he does this. See how he's grabbing a hold of it. And what he's going to do is he's going to clamp his hands. See how he grips his hands?
Yep.
And so
it crushes
he's
the
doing
esophagus.
it like this. No. You can go right over your face. It can go over your neck. It can go over your face. It can go over your fucking cheekbones. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to go under the chin. If it goes under the chin, that's awesome. But you see what's going on with his forearm? See how he's pulling with his arms? Yeah.
Lever arm.
Or you could do it. Some guys do it like this, but I think this is probably the best way to do it. But as you're right here, this part just digs that elbow. Yeah, perfect. Perfect example. See, he's pulling on it with his right arm, and then his left arm is pushing down with his forearm on Conor's shoulder. It is a nasty, nasty neck crank. And your head is getting popped off. And first of all, that guy could squeeze the shit out of you. All you have to do, there's a bunch of guys who could put you to sleep like that. Marcelo Garcia's one. He's put guys to sleep without even getting under the chin. He just gets your head. Just gets your head in there and squeezes. Eddie Bravo can do that too. If he gets your head in there, you don't even have to. It doesn't even have to be under the chin. He just really puts you to sleep with your own fucking head. Just wraps it around your head and squeezes it so tight that no blood is getting to your brain. Yeah. So there's a lot of armchair quarterbacks out there saying that wasn't a neck crank. You're incorrect. And have Dean Lister do that shit to you, and you will know
I'm pretty sure I had Jocko do that to me. My throat is still.
You don't want